Namaste, namaste, namaste. Oh, it's so wonderful that so many of you are here. Forgive my hilarity. I hope you realize what just happened. Just before coming to meet you, my tech manager and I were talking, and he showed me the most amazing introduction to the Lionsgate portal. And then I said, look, we better go live. So we come live to you, and suddenly we're bilocated back in time from August the 8th today. Yes, you were right, this was August the 8th. And the last global meditation that we did, which was for the midsummer, which was for the solstice. So I do apologize. He's literally sweating profusely with apologies. So I hope that's given you a great laugh, everybody. You were being bilocated back into time. Now, we know nothing happens by coincidence. And if you subscribe to the fact that that was a coincidence, you're not on the planet that I'm on. Nothing happens by coincidence. So there's a reason for why that is so. Now, I'm busy with the Lionsgate portal and what I want to share with you. So I'm not going to necessarily think about that right now, other than the fact that we know that the sun is involved, because there was the summer solstice when the sun was at its height on June the 21st. And here we are, not just with our universal sun, here we are with Sirius, that is considered to be the spiritual sun, the spiritual star of our planet, except it's 20 times bigger than our solar deity. 20 times bigger. And the reason why you are all here, there's nearly 1,000 people here, so bless you, bless you, bless you for hearing my call. The reason why you are really all here is because you know deep within your soul that the magnitude of this Sirius sun star is absolutely crucial and has been venerated and revered and celebrated and jubilated by we spiritual initiates for time immemorial, going back thousands and thousands and thousands of years. For example, we know that the ancient Egyptians, because Sirius rises and hangs over the Great Pyramid at Giza from approximately, in this year, July 28th, all the way through August 13th to August 13th, and peaks on this 8/8 day, this celebrated day. So for the ancient Egyptians, when Sirius rose, it meant that the astrology of the three planets linking, because the three planets are embraced by Orion's belt, which is the masculine counterpart to the feminine aspect of Sirius, and literally co-created such an extraordinary force overlit by Mercury, the planet of communication, that a stirring took place in the source of the Nile, and Nile waters, which is the longest river in the world, that literally travels for over 4,000 miles and is considered to be a mirror of the Milky Way. It also runs from south to north. It's considered sacred, that a surge of energy would stir at its source and pour through the expansity of the, as it were, the longitude of the Nile. And because it was so full, it would break the banks of the Nile and pour a black silt onto the banks of the Nile, which is why ancient Egypt is called Kemet, which means the Black Lands. Kemet, sometimes Khemet, because Egypt is Greek. Egyptos, it's actually a Greek word, which was derived, post the dissolution of what the great civilization was all about when the Ptolemies moved in. Anyway, that's going into the history. The significance is absolutely potentially so rich for us, do you see? Because it reminds us or mirrors of the magnitude of this time, which echoes rebirth. Because after all, you can imagine the Nile pouring through its 4,000-year journey into the Mediterranean and literally pouring similarly silt onto the verdant pasture of the banks of the Nile. The ancient Egyptians were able to grow their cereal crops, essentially wheat, barley, and oats, which was why the ancient Egyptian civilization in former times literally became one of the richest, one of the most expansive, one of the most abundant kingdoms in that area of the world, which today we call the Middle East. So, there are many echoes for us. However, at this time, today, there are so many unique astrological configurations that are literally around the body of Sirius that are amplifying, echo, or extending the nature of what Sirius's outreach can be, which is really to touch the heart of the conviction of your own soul, because as we all know, we're learning that the heart is the seat of the soul, not here, but here, and that it has an extraordinary energy. It has an energy field which is 5,000 times greater than the brain. And of course, we know that our brains are caught in duality, the right and the left hemisphere, for very specific reasons. But the heart, with its twin chambers, its aorta and its ventricles, comes into a point of oneness. And of course, as we all know, the heralding of this time is bringing us into unity consciousness, so that we move away from competition into collaboration. We move away from division into unity consciousness. We move away from disparity in relation to skepticism and cynicism, or the pixelation of opinions that drive us into arguments, so that we actually once again become a reflection of this extraordinary phenomenon called separation, that we would ever feel ourselves to be living in separation from the source. Literally, it brings us back through alchemy into interconnectivity with our source, therefore into interconnectivity with the divine Mother, Father, God source. So this is really what this entire time is all about. And as I was preparing to come and meet you earlier, I discovered this wonderful quatrain, which is very ancient. Behold the rising eastern mean, at which the birth of Christ was seen. Behold the infinite eight, which stands before the cosmic gate. So you see there is an echo here between Sirius, the brightest star in the sky, being the star that drew the three wise men from Mesopotamia, from Egypt. We know that they were representing three different cultures, and they brought with them the extraordinary gifts of three different cultures of frankincense, gold, and myrrh to the baby Jesus in recognition of the fact that he was a Messiah. They saw this, these great magi. And so we have this reflected in Behold the Rising Eastern Mean, because Sirius has always been seen as being the star that rises in the east. It is the balancing point. It is the absolute centrifuge through which we discern the power of the east, at which the birth of Christ was seen. Behold the holy infinite eight as being today, which stands before the cosmic gate. Now, I just wanted to share that with you because it was just so amusing that we begin with the summer solstice. That's, Ryan is amazing, and he's never done that before. So he's contrite. He's deeply contrite. Can you see him? He's genuflecting in front of you and asking for forgiveness. You must have been thinking, what the is going on? I thought I was here for 888. So, welcome to you all. There are so many people here. It's just wonderful. I've loved seeing all of the token bookings coming through my email process, my Outlook, into my inbox. It's been absolutely exhilarating. And I was with Ryan, my tech manager, this afternoon, filming and deciding a particular project that we're going to be releasing over this weekend, heralded by the 8-8 of the Lionsgate portal, which obviously is light from Sirius shining into the Great Sphinx, because the Sphinx marks, underneath the Sphinx are the halls of Amenti, the great temple of Amenti, where all of the Akashic records are held, possibly not in book form, in sound and light codes. So that's moving us into a very esoteric vein. But something very extraordinary is going to be awakened at this time to bring us into a recognition of what our ancient wisdom is all about. And so over the weekend, we're going to be releasing a new subscription series. I'm not going to go into the extent of it now, but you will receive an email later about it. You will receive a newsletter, which will lead you to a link, and then you can look at it within your own grace and in your own time and in your own inconvenience. Because we're here to meditate, right? And time is marching on. So, I want us to take us through a special portal meditation that the Angels of Atlantis, and if you're unfamiliar with who the Angels of Atlantis are, these are 12 beings of light that came to me through divine transmission in 1987. So that's nearly 40 years. And so I've been their emissary on Earth for all of this time. And for those of you who are unfamiliar afterwards, not now, please, do go to www.theangelsofatlantis.com, and you can see who the 12 angels are, because believe you me, they're ramping up their voltage at this time to really help us, because they know what planet Earth is going through. Of course, they also know what the other planets are going through, our neighboring planets, because we have the stellar brothers and sisters from Orion, from Sirius, from the Pleiades, from Arcturus, from Lyra, etc., etc., etc. They're all clustering within our ionosphere because they can see the great shifts taking place within the Gaia. And we are in alignment with those shifts. The more we shift into infinite love, the more we shift into unconditional love, the more we stop judging one another and moving away from divisiveness or division into unity consciousness. Forgiving ourselves for being so, and forgiving others for all of the perpetrations. So realizing that what we see before us is a mirror image of what's going on within. This is the law of resonance. And so if we open ourselves to the recognition that this is a screen for our consciousness, it's not happening to us, it's responding to us. So that we can alter all of the screen before us and bring in something really remarkable. As you see behind me, because I've just moved into this wonderful new apartment and I'm just slowly getting it together. There's still a lot here that needs to be done. However, so let's go into the meditation so that we can draw in the power of Sirius and feel how through the vessel of our beings, because there are I think there is something like 1,200 people with us today. And if not, they're here now in this time, they'll be within the recording. So of course we know the resonance will continue to ripple forth. That as we draw in Sirius, we will literally feel our hearts spring open, and we're going to be sending light into the body of the Sphinx so that the Sphinx can open up her own eyes, open up her own heart, the great lion heart of the Sphinx that Sirius in many ways is serving, and broadcast that light around the planet into the jurisdiction of what Sphinx energy is all about, meaning of choosing how, through the Akashic records, this time can become an amplitude of vast energy, so that we all move onto a higher octave. Our Gaia moves onto a higher octave because she and we are all one, and so we're literally oscillating degrees together, unless we're living in a state of perjury and in a state of treachery and in a state of hatred. Mother Earth is not interested in our hatred. Mother Earth simply says, okay, kids, can you sort that one out, please? Because she is certainly not living through hatred. Okay, so without more ado, feel the length in your spine, please, so you're really centered in the chair that you're seated in. If you're sitting cross-legged on the floor, this is fantastic. Just bring yourself into correct alignment. And if you need to, use a support behind you. Put a cushion or a pillow behind you so that you can feel the whole of your spine. Because at this time, our spines, as we know, is the central column of our nervous system, the leading channel for our neurological system. We're opening up within the spine the pranic cord so that we can literally echo or reflect the axis of the Gaia. The pranic cord has within it, of course, each of our 7 personal chakras and the 8th, which we won't have time to fully access today. But do come and join me at the end of this month for the Angels Speak, and we'll have 3 extended meditations where we open up all of the chakras. And then we'll, with our due diligence and our love and our devotion, we'll allow ourselves to be vessels of accommodating light. So, feeling your spine absolutely aligned and just closing your eyes. And just let all the breath go. And feel the need to breathe. And breathe in silver white light. Feel how the whole of your interior has lit up, and let the breath go. Empty, 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 until you feel the need to breathe. And once again, recovery in. And feel how the pranic cord, the spine, has illuminated itself, is radiant with this silver white light, and let the breath go. Blow all the residue out. Feel the need to breathe, and once again, recovery in. Feel the pranic cord lit up, suffuse through the whole of your interior, and expand through the girth of your body, and let the breath go. Feel the need to breathe at the end, and recovery in. Feel the pranic cord brighten, expand through the girth of your body, and now radiating through your skin to 3, 4, 5. This will be just over a meter away from your body, illuminating the etheric sheath, and let the breath go. Empty, empty, empty. When you feel the need to breathe, recovery in. Feel the pranic cord illuminate even more, expand through the girth of your body, through the etheric sheath. Now expand, 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 until the light touches the wall, the ceiling, the floor, before you and behind you, and let the breath go. Empty, empty, empty. Feel the need to breathe. And once again, recovery in. Feel the pranic cord blaze with light through the interior of your body, into the etheric sheath, and then into the auric sheath and the buddhic sheath. And let the breath go. And recovery in when you need it. And through your heart, just one Om. Om. That was so good. Once more. Om. And again. And recovery in, and pause, and rest, and soak, and observe. Feeling the extraordinary nature of your pranic cord, shimmering, glimmering within your interior, and radiating light not just through your interior world, but through your skin into your etheric, into the auric, into the buddhic. So the whole space, your sacred sanctuary, is lit up, and you're at the center of it. The Aum, as you know, is the calling card of God. And so the Divine One is here with us. And on your behalf, I'm just going to initiate this prayer. It's very short, to bring us into the reasoning counsel of why we were so drawn together for this time. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of all. Let light descend on earth. And from the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of all. May love return to earth. And from the center, where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of all, the purpose that the angels live and serve. Let the plan of angelic love and light work out, and may it seal the door beyond which darkness dwells. Let light and love and angels restore the divine plan on earth. And so it is. Amen. Feel yourself within your heart. We're just going to breathe further into our hearts to illuminate the secret chamber within your heart, where the thymus lives, this great magician, who you know produces cells, 144 cells, that are the God code within us, that have the possibility of being transcendent and immortal. This, of course, is the code into our divine blueprint, into our spiritual sovereignty, into our souls. And so again, just letting all the breath empty, breathing wide and deep. And feel how your heart emblazons. And then bring all of your pelvic area, the first, second, and third chakra, together into the chant of L. And moving to the feeling center of the emotional center, the solar plexus, that center of your will. And this sound is Im. So we bring the earth and the water together, and then into the throat chakra. So the heart, upper heart and the throat chakra on Om. And then into the celestial connection with your universal heart chakra, the soul star, and the stellar gateway on Ka. Ka. And you'll feel the whole of your field. Already the light is open, but you'll feel the whole of your field rippling with that force as we bring the sacred earth, water, air, and fire of physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual into balance, all shining through your heart. And now we're just going to use the great vowel R to shine from our hearts into the heart of the Sphinx. And as you shine into the heart of the Sphinx, feel how not only the Sphinx's heart is awakened, but also how light pours through her eyes and moves into all the varying subtle destinations, both seen and unseen, that she knows best, or she, he, she, he, it knows best, will heal the travail that exists upon our planet. Are you ready? Let the breath go. Feel the need to breathe and recovery in. Ho. 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 And feel her body, her, he, it, the Sphinx, like a dynamo, beating the great heart of the Sphinx and opening every dimension of its power, knowing it to be a celestial portal between the earth and the heavens through Sirius. Feel how that dynamo is so heartened, is so awake within the heart of the Sphinx that all of the light is pouring not just through the orifice of its skin, the pores of its skin, but through its eyes into the world. Join this extraordinary focus, if you wish, and shine through your own inner seeing, your own heart energy, the power of your eternal love into areas of your own life, whether this be personal or professional, whether this be local or universal, where you know there is conflict. And see how the power of your love sends forth ripples of hope, waves of glory into the troubled zones of your life, whether it be conflict in relationships or issue of challenge between belief systems, and see them all being literally minimized by divine love. And as they are minimized by divine love, see how fresh pastures open, and that the holy ones, the unseen ones, your guides, my guides, the angels of Atlantis, our ascended masters and mistresses, the great Isis herself, sowing seeds of a great crop to bring forth such vitality that will germinate, that will disseminate peace and love and empathy and unity. And even with those ecstatic conflicts, for example, the one that we see in the Middle East, in Giza, not far from the Sphinx, even see how the turmoil, which we know is so complex, is suddenly completely allayed. A startling supernatural aid takes place, and all those people who are in hatred become still. The scales fall from their eyes, and they look at one another, knowing that a profound healing has taken place, and that love pours forth through their eyes, rather than the enmity that has been present for so long. And bringing in the final prayer, if you can stay as you are, my darlings, just soaking in soul, soaking in the stillness, soaking in the peace, where you know the divine lives. It is we who are commissioned into action, but the divine lives in that holy instant of silence, that 0 point. Dear Divine Mother, Father, please teach us a clearer vision of our destiny, full of love, full of grace, full of humility, and full of gratitude. so that we may truly see your divinity in all aspects of our lives, that are without illusion, that are without fear, that are without judgment, that are without pain, and that are without doubt. Please let us feel the fullness of your love moving through the entirety of our beings and eventually spreading into the life of our days and our nights, so that your otherworldliness, your divine intelligence, literally circumlocutes the entirety of our intelligence. Please help us to release any anxiety, any insecurity, any pain or doubt or division, so that we may call into our lives the love that you have, which passes all understanding. Please teach us to trust that our love be accepted. Please teach us to trust that the love which knows that we are worthy of deep and passionate and exhilarating love be ours in our days and in our sleeping dreams through our nights, so that all of our being, all of our people, as well as our own being, are brought to tranquility and peace. And finally, please aid us to live in the love that pulses and breathes during each of your divine moments, so that our lives may become richer and clearer, like pools of clear spring water. We thank you, we thank you, we thank you. And with our hearts we pledge our love in service of you. And so it is. Amen. And dear ones, feel how the body of the Sphinx is almost as it were within your body, or that you are within the body of the Sphinx, that we are at one, and that the vast intelligence of the Sphinx, which has been there for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, possibly since the drawing towards the end times of Atlantis, when we're talking about 12, 13, 14, 15,000 years ago and before, that the richness and the wisdom and the probity of the Sphinx brings all to divine order, balance, peace, serenity. And feeling that serenity in your own being, this exquisite stillness as you soak in soul, your soul, my soul, our soul, the we soul. Thousands of people connected through the heart. And therefore, feel how a biofeedback is taking place within your heart as you receive, having given so beautifully, how you are receiving the love, the intelligence, the wisdom of this unique portal. And therefore, this remarkable festival is not simply seen as an echo of past, but is simply seen as a great note being sounded, a great chord of celestial proportion is sounded to awaken our own lives into the furtherance of our spiritual endeavor, and so that we may positively leak love and joy and wonder into the world. May this be. And so it is, amen. And so slowly coming around, starting just by feeling your body, feeling the feelingness of your body, and hearing, the way that you're hearing, and smelling, tasting. And if your eyes are still closed, just bring your palms together, rub them gently, and place your hands over your eyes, and just opening your eyes into your palms, so that when you draw your palms away, you're not too startled by the light. How are you? That was amazing. Thank you so much for joining me. I could feel you all in the Ethernet, all in this great network, and we've slightly run over time, but that's okay. So, you're going to be receiving a newsletter which is going to indicate some of the wonders that have been created by the Angels of Atlantis. Don't forget, if you're unfamiliar, that every week there is a channeling from the Angels of Atlantis. And this week is mighty. So go to YouTube, The Angels of Atlantis with Stewart Pearce, and do watch it. It's a 30-minute, 25-minute, 30-minute transmission from myself as their emissary. And I already have intimations of next week because a meditation that took place earlier today and next week is going to be extraordinary. And there's also a strong possibility that Diana, the one who walked amongst us, who I had the great fortune of coaching during the last 2 years of her life, Diana, Princess of Wales, is going to come through because she's now working within the Pleiadian temples. So do tune in. I think that was all that we wanted to share with you. You're going to be receiving a newsletter, and apart from huge love. Namaste, namaste, namaste. Thank you, Ryan.